Look at that. That's huge. I mean, really, look at that. The shade stopper didn't do anything like that. I really thought that I had a problem with the shade stopper because things weren't changing, but it's that shade stopper technology that allows it to continue to have an increase, to have a steady output, regardless if you're using all of the solar grids or you're not. This one here, I'm telling you, if you put any shade to it, it's going to reduce that charge significantly. All right, so we've all been there. We've all had that experience where we need to charge either a cell phone, a laptop, or our power station, and it's either a cloudy day or we're in the shade. And a solar panel loses a great deal of power when the sun goes behind the clouds or when we're sitting in the shade. But they've developed a new solar panel called the Shade Stopper solar panel. So it is going to have a drop in output, but not a significant drop like we're going to see in a regular solar panel. So before we do this comparison, I wanted to show you this 100-watt solar panel that was sent to me at no charge for this review. So the solar panel, of course, it folds out into two larger panels, and then each panel has 18 different little solar layers to it. And the one that we're going to be comparing it to actually has 42 little solar panels in the panel itself. So it's going to be a pretty good comparison. It's lightweight, weighs about 11 pounds, and it is magnetized at the handle. It does not have a case. This is its own case. Now, it does have a pocket here in the front, and in the front, you're going to find that it does have some different outlets. What we do have is a power cable here that's going to allow you to charge multiple different types of power stations. If this does not fit your power station, we do have an extension cable, an adapter cable, and 3 different adapter plugs that you can use to charge your power station. Today, I'm not going to be charging a power station. We're just going to show you how shade affects the output of the solar panel using a cell phone. Now, on this solar panel, what you do have for the output is a USB-A port, and you've also got a USB-C port. We're going to be using the USB-C port. This on both devices, it's a 100-watt PD charger. So, the wattage of that charger really doesn't matter. What matters is what your phone can accept. Now, both of these are 100-watt solar panels. This shade stopper here has an output of 18 maximum volts, and this panel has a maximum output of 23 volts. So again, very comparable. The voltage doesn't matter when it comes to a cell phone. What matters with a cell phone is what it can accept. And so it's only going to be able to accept about 5 volts. And so we're going to get a maximum. Maximum charge here with our phone. Okay, so what I'm going to do is open an app called Ampere. It's the first app here on the top row to the right. We're going to open that up, and you can see what it's measuring right now is my discharge. What we want to do is measure our input. All right, so you can see that we are currently charging, and so you can see that we're getting a really, really good charge. We're going to give this a little bit of time to stabilize, and then we're going to apply shade. Okay, so if you will watch the milliamp meter, you can see we're sitting at 850, 860, 870, somewhere around there. When I apply shade to it, you're not going to get a huge reduction in power. You notice it's still at 870, 850. So it's dropped a little bit, but it hasn't dropped significant, which is a huge factor when it comes to charging cell phones, laptops, and power stations. So you can see it's jumped back up to 860. Now, when we plug it into the other solar panel, you're going to see the significant change when shade is applied. Okay, so you can see that the output is not as great as the shade stopper solar panel, but we're still getting a really good charge on the phone at 660 milliamps, anywhere between 660 and 680 milliamps. Now, when I apply shade to it, we're going to notice, we should notice a significant drop in charge. Look at that. That's huge. I mean, really, look at that. The shade stopper didn't do anything like that. I really thought that I had a problem with the shade stopper because things weren't changing, but it's that shade stopper technology that allows it to continue to have an increase, to have a steady output, regardless if you're using all of the solar grids or you're not. This one here, I'm telling you, if you put any shade to it, it's going to reduce that charge significantly. And you can just see that drop. Now, just for the sake of this video, I'm going to show the shade stopper one more time. I'm going to do the exact same test just so that you can see the drastic change that takes place in a typical solar panel versus the shade stopper solar panel. All right, so what we're going to do for you on this test, because you saw the drastic drop in output from the typical solar panel, I'm standing here in front of the shade stopper, and you can see that I got a good portion of this panel already blocked by shade. We're going to go ahead and we're going to block even some more shade. So you can see we're stabilized here around 760, 780, somewhere around there, a little bit less than last time, but you can see that I'm shading some of the solar panel already. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a lot more shade to it. And we're not going to cut that by 50%. We're only going to cut it just a small percentage in the output of this solar panel. So the shade stopper technology, it really works. It really works, and I'm super impressed with it. I didn't think it was going to do as well as it does, but so I'm telling you, on a cloudy day or if you're in the shade, this solar panel right here is still going to absorb the sun. It's still going to have high output, and it's not going to make an incredible difference whether you're in full sun or if you've got a bit of shade, which is a huge, huge deal, especially if you are a camper and you're charging up your camper and you're charging up your battery, or if you're charging your cell phones or your laptops or things of that nature, or if you're just out here on the homestead and you are using your solar panels to power your chicken coop or other lights around the yard. You're going to want to make sure that you got full sunlight. But with the shade stopper, I tell you what, you're going to be okay if it is a cloudy day or if you have a few rainy days, because it's not going to affect the output so much that it's not going to be able to power your exhaust fans or your heat lamps or other electric devices that you might have in your chicken coop. So this thing's huge. I absolutely love it. I think it's an absolutely incredible technology. I definitely recommend that for you.